In this lesson, I will take a few moments to talk about the QSpinBox and QSpinBox widgets available in PySide 2. These two widgets are similar to a QLineEdit, except they limit the user input to integers and floating point numbers. If the user tries to input an invalid value, be it letters or a number outside the current range, then the key press is simply ignored. Because Maya is so heavily math-based, you will likely find many of your tools will require numeric input within a limited range. And rather than having to create your own QLineEdit subclass with a custom validator, 99 times out of 100, you will get all of the functionality you need from a QSpinBox or a QSpinBox. The example I've created for this lesson is just a dialog with a QSpinBox and a QSpinBox. And I've created a connection to the value changed signal that will print out the new value. So when the value is changed, in my output window, I can see the new value being printed. And this holds true for both the SpinBox and the QSpinBox. Now by default, a QSpinBox has a minimum value of 0 and a maximum value of 99. So I cannot go any lower than 0, and I can't put in a number greater than 99. Changing this is probably the single most common requirement when setting up a QSpinBox. And to do this, I will just use the setMinimum and setMaximum methods. So after I've created my SpinBox widget, I can make a call to the setMinimum method, and I'll set this to -100. And I'll do the same for setMaximum, setting the value to 100. When I test this out now, I can set a negative value, with the smallest value being -100. Now instead of 99, I can go all the way up to 100. I can also use the setRange method to set the minimum and maximum values in a single call. So for my QSpinBox, I'll call setRange, and for this I'll set it to -50.0 and 50.0. And this has also set my minimum and maximum values. Another thing you may wish to change is the step size. This is how much to increment or decrement the current value when clicking on the arrow buttons, pressing the keypad arrow buttons, or scrolling the mouse wheel. By default, the step size is set to 1, but it can be changed with the set single step method. So I'll change this for my SpinBox, and I'll set my single step to 5. Now when I hit the up arrow, my value is increasing by 5 each time. One of the lesser known features of these widgets is the ability to add a prefix or a suffix. For example, if the input is in dollars, I can add a $sign prefix to this value. To do this, I'll use the SpinBox's setPrefix method, and here I'm just going to add a $sign. Now the value will always be prefixed by a $sign. And even though this prefix is displayed in my SpinBox widget, the value passed by the value changed connection excludes this prefix. So the value being printed out remains 50. It's not including the $sign symbol. Likewise, I can set a suffix that will add text at the end of the displayed value. So on my QSpinBox, I'll add a suffix. And this one I'll make meters, so I'll just add a small m at the end. My QSpinBox is now displaying a value which the user can interpret as being in meters. Finally, I'm sure many of you are asking, how can I get rid of the arrow buttons? It's not something that I see in Maya, and I don't want it in my user interface. The answer to this is with a single line of code, and that's to set the button symbols. So again, for my SpinBox, I'm going to call set button symbols, and then I'm going to set it to no buttons. So this is qtWidgets.QAbstractSpinBox, which is the parent of both the SpinBox and the double SpinBox. And then I want this to be no buttons. After that, there's no more buttons on my SpinBox. And I can make the exact same call on double SpinBox to remove the arrows.